My dear subscribers, this audiobook is a treasure for you. Make sure that the time you will be listening to this, you will feel that you are speaking this.
Remember the value of the person you're talking to. How many times have you been listening to someone, but you have found that your mind starts thinking about something else? It might be your to-do list or wondering what you're going to have on for dinner, but you're not really listening to what the person is saying. He noticed that he was having this problem a lot and it concerned him. He was listening to a friend talking about a new work elevator, and no matter how much he tried to focus, his mind just wouldn't play a ball. He kept noticing what he was doing and forced himself to listen, but the pattern just kept repeating itself. While he was talking and during the back and the forth of focusing, drifting and refocusing, I got and asked myself, wait a minute, do I really care about what he is saying? I had to honestly say to myself, maybe not. At least not at that moment. It's not always about not being interested in what they are saying to you at that moment. It could be that you simply don't place enough value on the person overall. Remember, the man driving force behind quality communication is to have a connection with the person whom you're talking to, whom you're communicating with. Leal suggests that we should focus more on recognizing the value of the person in front of us and understand that everyone is unique and worth listening to. However, the first step towards that is to know that you are also unique and worthy of being heard. You can't recognize worthy of being heard, and someone else will do until you see it in yourself. Every single person you encounter is special in their own way. Communicating with people you have never met before allows you to develop a new person too. He has also suggested that using a 4-step routine when you notice that your mind is wandering. First, stop for a second and notice what you are doing. Second, think about the person's value and what they are talking to you. Third, next, change tactics and turn your attention back to the person and really listen. Finally, fourth, make a vow and put yourself in the place and present in that moment. When you're noticing your mind drifting from a conversation, stop and remember what the person might be able to teach you. Change tactics and do something about it. Second, learn to listen to understand, not just to hear the words. Most people amuse they're good listeners, but they simply hear the words. Trust, listening is more than that. It is about making an effort to understand and look beyond just words spoken. That is a key idea. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with intent to reply. Many people complain that their partner doesn't listen to them, and over time this can be a major issue problems. It makes a person feel undervalued and unseen. Learn to actively listen and you will sidestep a million problems, both your relationship and other areas of your life too. The first step to active listening is to avoid thinking about anything else and instead join in that person who is talking to you. Use empathy to see things through their eyes, then really listen to their words. Watch their body language and other non-verbal causes also, such as facial expressions and hand gestures. Avoid trying to second guess what they are going to say or thinking about what you want to say. There is a key idea. Interrupting someone when they are speaking will ruin the conversation. Don't just hear the words. Really join in what he is saying or feeling. Next, really listen to how they are speaking to you. Pay close attention to the tone of their voice, how fast, how slow they are talking, just like you're doing with me, and whether they are stumbling over the words. Emotions aren't often expressed properly in the words. It is usually non-verbal clues that tell you that how the person is feeling. Active listening allows you to recognize this and read between the lines. Once they're finished talking and you haven't interrupted them, repeat back a summarized version of what they have said and show them that you have listened and understood them. It will help you to while replying your teacher, replying your girlfriend, and whoever you're talking to. It will make you a best communicator ever. Make sure, and I'm telling you again, communication does not mean having a good English. It simply means whatever language you are using in your communication, it should be used perfectly. And according to your words, your expression should come out, just like mine is coming out. Once they're finished talking, you will have to answer a few questions also, whatever they are asking. This can help you to deepen conversation because the person feels valued and safe to voice their feelings. There is a key idea. Becoming a better listener helps to deepen connections, builds trust, and enhances relationship. Next, if someone is not speaking to you, ask yourself why. Sometimes we go quiet. We don't feel like there is any point of talking to our partner because we don't feel like they would understand, and they've done something upset us, and we don't feel that we want to communicate. If you are finding that your partner or someone in your life isn't opening up, avoid becoming frustrated and instead question why that might be. There are several reasons why someone may be close up and not just want to speak about anything too deep. The most common reason is that they are waiting for an apology. Have you done something or said something that hurt their feeling and caused them to remain quiet out of anger or genuinely upset? There is a key idea. One of the most common reasons for someone not opening up is that they are hurt. They are waiting for the things to put right. Do you need to apologize? If yes, just do it now. If there is someone in your life who feel to be quiet around you and won't open up as much as they usually do, then ask yourself if you have caused this situation. Have you done something to this person without realizing it? Think back and use your empathy to put yourself in that place. If you find something, rectify the situation by apologizing in a meaningful way and also let them know that you are apologizing. That is a key idea. Understanding what you are apologizing for takes honest self-awareness. Dig deep and use your empathy to understand how others are feeling. Next idea. Overcome communication blocks for better relationships. Many people struggle with communication from time to time, and it's usually down to common blocks that we all fall full of occasionally. However, sometimes these can become a habit. Things that we do without really noticing. Over time, this can cause a major issue. And over time, this can really cause a major problem in your relationship and work settings. Being more aware of common blocks to effective communication will help you to understand whether to work on these things or not. Awareness is the key of this situation. There is a key idea. Becoming aware of how you communicate helps you to be more in the moment and understand whether you are using negative communication tactics. The most common pitfalls are amusing that the other person knows what you're talking about and that they are somehow mind reader, jumping to an advice the person without listening properly or even knowing that they want your advice and being judgmental. Another very common block is trying to open up And the person, for instance, if they tell you that they have had a bad day, you will tell them that yours was far worst, making them amuse and assume that they can't talk to you about what has gone wrong because you take them seriously. There's a key area. You get nothing by trying to outdo the other person. Listen, remember their value, and enjoy the conversation. Be more aware of common blocks and identify whether you regularly fall in any of them. Next, learn how accurately you can convey your thoughts and feelings for a better connection. This can be hard and really hard to express your feelings accurately, especially when you're having problems in your relationship. However, it is important to avoid the chances of misunderstandings. Of course, you need to know how to advise this in a way that encourages the other person and sit and listen to you. There is a key area. Listening how to talk about your feelings will allow you to, and your partner also, to overcome the problems more easily. Avoiding this can lead to major dramas. Next, Lidl suggests that a good starting point is to think about what you want and say beforehand. This avoids saying the things in heat of other moment that could be taken in a worse way or cause further damages also. Make sure that you're using statement beginning with "I rather than you" like these, and cut down the chances of other person feeling that you're blaming them for how you feel. When you're speaking, be mindful of what you're saying and make sure that you choose the words you speak carefully. Make sure you're clear and concise, and check the tone of your voice. Rather than being sharp in tone, be soft, and this will encourage the other person to use their empathy to listen to what you're telling them. There's a key idea. How do you talk? Do you use sarcasm or do you use a sharp tone? Spend more time evaluating your vocal style. You might be causing problems without realizing it. A common problem for people who are trying to express the complex feeling is that they jump from the one feeling to another, which is confusing for the other person. Stick one problem at a time and be straight to the point when you're speaking. It is also a good idea to express gratitude on the person once you have finished explaining, thanking them for listening to what you have said. It is a back-to-back forth type of communication that enhances relationships. It means both parties feel listened to and they both have chances to speak. It deepens the connection and helps them to overcome problems without significant difficulty. There's a big key area. Listening and speaking are a vital part of communication, but only one person should do at a time. Next, put time and effort on your relationship on a regular basis. It is important to recognize your relationship as something unique and special in your life, such as you need to decide time and attention to it regularly. It means you are tending to it and ensuring that it has all the nutrition that needs to grow. Focusing upon effective and positive communication will do this, but you need to keep practicing your skills and working together. There is a key idea. Tend to your relationship regularly and allow it to develop over time in a positive way. Do not take care of your partner for granted. Your work relationship will be totally different from your friendship, and both will be completely unique and to the relationship you have with your partner or your family members. Recognize the differences between relationships and approach them all in a unique way. It's not difficult to look after your relationships. All you need to do is to communicate clearly with empathy. Check it on those of your life on regular basis. Dedicate time and attention. The more you do these things, the more they become habits. There's a key idea. Practice focusing on all unique relationships on your life. The more you practice, the more naturally the continues the focus, as if the second nature. The conclusion of this audiobook. Communication sounds like it should be as easy subject, but it is something with which many people struggle. It's something to fall into negative habits that wreck the relationships over time.